Yay, awesome. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I am so excited to be here with you guys tonight and share more with you guys. For those of you guys that don't know me, which is probably quite a few of you guys, my name is Courtney. I'm not Lindsay. My name is Courtney Dunker, and I have been a coach now for 5 years. And first of all, I would love to hear in the chat box, and I know there's a bunch of people on, but I would love to hear maybe an obstacle that you're facing right now in your business, because I want to get an idea of where you guys are at. I have been through ups and downs in my business over the last 5 years. And so I really want to talk about how your obstacle is your path to success. And your obstacle is happening for you, not to you. It's happening for you to develop into the leader that you need to become to enable you to hit the goals that you have in your heart. So I'm really excited to just kind of hear your thoughts. I hear a lot of recruiting, engagement. Oh, I love this. This is so great. Awesome. Okay. And since I believe in focusing on things that are going well, I also want you to put in the chat box something that you can celebrate that you are seeing progress in. So I'll just get into a background a little bit of who I am and what my journey has looked like, so you guys know where I'm coming from. I think sometimes our stories and even just these calls in general mean so much more when we hear what the person has been through in their business, right? It's like you hear things differently when you understand that they're relatable, or you understand that they've been through hard things too, and they've come out the other side and still hit those goals, right? So I started 5 years ago. I did not come in as a customer. I actually came in for the business. And I have been super passionate about the business from the beginning. I was someone who was a college athlete. I was doing other workout programs when I started as a coach. So I had a little bit of this like learning curve, if you will, to fall in love with Beachbody once I became a coach, because I was so excited about the income opportunity. I was so excited about being able to create an income through this passion that I had for health and fitness. And I was all on board for making this my full-time job. But there was a little bit of just learning that I had to go through to fall in love with Beachbody specifically, because I was already doing workouts that I really enjoyed. So when I stepped into coaching, that was kind of my first hurdle, was really falling in love with it and implementing the programs as they were created to do. So once I started doing that, I started seeing more success in my business, because we know that you are, I've heard Julie Boris say this, you are your lid to your business. So wherever you're at is going to be the cap for how your team, how your business grows. So you will only grow and you will only develop as much as you personally are growing and developing. And so your team and your business is going to be capped at that point wherever you're at. And I love that analogy, because that's very much how my business has always been. It's like I'll go through this growth spurt in my health and fitness journey, and then, oh, look at that, we've hit a wall and I need to get past the next obstacle. So it took me, actually, I want to say it was my third time to go elite, go 5-star elite. So it took me longer. The second year that I went for it, I missed it. I missed it in the fourth quarter, and it was extremely disappointing, because to me, I kind of felt like 5-star elite was like the end all be all. I saw all these coaches going to the elite parties at Summit, and I just remember being like enamored by these people in these beautiful dresses. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. I want to be there. I want to be one of those coaches. And so I was really disappointed to not hit it that second year. And so I went for it the third year, and we scraped by 5-star elite by the skin of our teeth in the fourth quarter in my third year. And so I just remember going into January, like, my business, this cannot happen. Like, I need to figure out how to get to the next level and how to find coaches that I'm not feeling like I'm pushing or pulling or just really being the engine behind everything. I want people that want to be here, who are going to show up with the same work ethic, the same energy, the same mindset, that are passionate about this just like I am. And so it took me some time to figure that out, because I didn't really feel like I had necessarily this incredible, like, big team telling me like how to see success. I was kind of putting the wheels together myself. And so there was even that learning curve in and of itself. But that January, I made the decision to create my own new coach training for my team, because my upline was attracting different people than I was attracting. And the training that she provided was different. It wasn't the right fit for my coaches. My coaches needed to hear from me. How was I building this business? And how was I creating success for myself? So that year, I kind of took ownership in a new way. And in that year, we went on to hit elite for the second time. And I also ended the year in superstar qualifications. But here's the thing, that fourth quarter again, dang it, does anyone else feel me in the fourth quarter of the year? Like, have you ever been there and you're just like, just hold it together, just hold it together. It's fine, we're gonna make it. January's almost here, we're gonna just hold it together. And then you get there and you're like, oh shoot, okay, I can breathe again. But then you're like, that's the new year. Well, this fourth quarter for me was a little bit different. We were in 15-star qualifications. And I will never forget, I was in Florida for the first time. I was at Disney World. So all my Florida people, hello. I was at Disney World. My brother was getting married that weekend. And we were in the fourth week of 15-star quals. And I woke up, so I stayed up really late that night to make sure all of our ducks were in a row. I missed one inactive from a coach who is an OG, Star Diamonds, and I didn't know it was going to affect us. I woke up the next morning and we were not 15-star. We were 14-star. And you can just imagine my stomach dropped. And I was sitting there, kid you not, in Disney World with my brother and his wedding party, who I didn't really know yet. And I was sobbing, uncontrollably sobbing in the happiest place in the world, right? You're supposed to be in Disneyland, enjoying yourself and having the time of your life. And I was sitting there crying and I couldn't pull it together. I was like, I need to go. I can't pull it together. Mostly because I just wasn't prepared to lose qualifications. I didn't know that we had missed something. And I fought tooth and nail trying to figure out, is there any way to fix this? And I felt really embarrassed, to be honest. Here I was, I had done a panel at the leadership conference just a couple weeks prior. I felt like our team was getting momentum and finally getting, some recognition. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, we have forward progress. I was so excited about where we were at. And that one situation stopped everything. It wasn't just my belief that was shaken. It was, do I really want this? I'm devastated about this. This hurts on a personal level, not just a business level, but our team, there were girls that night before who had rallied and basically stayed up until midnight to plug their holes, thinking that everyone else was doing the same thing. So you can imagine the trust that was broken on our team that we had worked so hard to build. And for me personally, to have that situation where someone that I know and loved and trusted was she knew that was going to happen, and she didn't communicate it to me in time. And it really hurt on a friendship level. And I remember sitting there and I called Sydney Maurer, if you guys know her. She works with corporate and she was my corporate mentor at the time. And I told her the news, or maybe she knew already. I don't know. I feel like they know everything. But I told her the news and I sat there and I just was sobbing. And I told her, I said, Sydney, I just don't know if I can do this. I'm 4 years into building a business and there I was questioning if I could even be a coach, if I could even see success. I had hit the highest rank in qualifications and I was questioning this. So number one, I just want you guys to know that really, really tough things happen in this business, and that's normal. And your heart can be broken by this business, and that's also kind of normal. I feel like I talk to so many other superstar coaches and the same thing. They have had their hearts broken at different times in this business because it's a people business. And if you're doing this job, it's because you care about people. And so when you miss goals or when your team misses goals and you see the potential and you know what your team is capable of, it is devastating and it hurts. There's an emotional component to this business, and we can't shut that off because we wouldn't be good at our jobs if we did shut off those emotions. So we have to find this in between, right? Of being like, okay, this just totally broke my heart / how do I keep on moving forward and kind of not safeguard myself? Because at that point in my business, I had to make a decision. And every obstacle that you come against, you decide which side of the fence are you going to land on? Is it going to be the side that says, this is too hard? This is too emotionally painful. This is too much to interact with these people. It's too challenging and it's too uncomfortable and it hurts too much. And I'm going to quit and I'm going to give up, or I'm just going to like ease off and maybe like say my goals are something else, right? We do that too, don't we? We water down what we really want because we're like, well, I just don't think that's possible. And because I've missed these other goals, the reality of me hitting that goal is definitely not going to happen now because I've already failed at something. When we fail, we're like afraid to try again. Or there's the other side of the fence that says, okay, what can I learn from this? This hurts. And I still look back at that quarter and I want to cry because it was just so painful to then go to my team, because obviously they don't see my rank. I had to log in and I had to tell my team, guess what? We dropped out of qualifications. And that conversation was a hot mess. And it's still painful to this day. I still have scars, from those experiences in this business where maybe you had someone that was like your bestie in the business and they walked away. And then they started talking about you behind your back or something like that. This business tends to bring those scars along the journey. And so number one, I want you to know that people who have gotten where you want to go, they didn't get there without scars. They didn't get there without cuts and bruises, and they didn't get there without pain. And that's not to say that like we should welcome that. I feel like that's kind of weird to be like, yes, feel all the pain. But it's also to just recognize that it is normal to have to rebuild. It is normal to miss goals. It is normal to hurt in this business. And we should normalize the fact that it takes a lot of grit, and I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to get back up, and I'm going to get back up to keep going until you get there. And so if there's anything that I can share with you guys from my story, it's that number one, you have to have that grit and that determination in why you are a coach, why you personally, not your team, not your husband, not your family, not anyone but you. Why are you here? Because that's the one thing that's going to get you up the next morning that says, okay, I'm going to invite again. Okay, I'm going to trust my coaches again. Okay, I'm going to trust my team again. Because I had to learn that. I had to learn how to accept that heartache is going to happen, but I still have to trust my team. I still have to believe in them. I still have to build relationships and friendships with these girls, knowing that one day they could hurt me. That's part of this business. And so I had to make that decision based off of why I was here. And why I was here had nothing to do with me failing and everything to do with what was in my future. I was here because I wanted to create a business that gave us financial freedom. I wanted to retire Josh from his job, which he was, you guys don't even know Josh. I'm like talking like we know each other, sorry. Backtrack. Josh is my husband. He played basketball. We were overseas for the last 5 years. We just settled down into one place last August because of coaching. And I'll tell you what, if I had let my obstacles or my mistakes, because I've made plenty, or my failures stop me from showing up again and again and figuring out how to do things differently so that that same failure doesn't happen again, then I wouldn't be here today. And my husband wouldn't be down at the soccer field teaching kids sports as a nonprofit, getting hardly any income. And that's a choice that we get today because of coaching, because I refused to let those obstacles stop me. And I had a vision. I had a guiding light that was like, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm showing up. This is why I can cry and I can just like totally give myself a day. But tomorrow I'm getting back up and we're going after it again. Next week, we're getting back to 15 star. Did we? No. Because at that point, half my team, they took that failure and they chose that side of the fence, that they were going to give up, that this was too hard. They didn't want to push anymore. But the other half was like, let's do this. I'm a lifer with you. And it took me 3 months to rebuild that superstar team. And what we went into in the fourth quarter last year as barely qualifying as 15-star, we went into the second quarter of this year qualifying for superstar with 22 diamonds instead of 15. And 10 or 12 of those, I want to say, were brand new diamonds that weren't even on the team when we missed that goal. So you can't tell me that that obstacle that you're facing right now that you put in the chat box is unsolvable, because it's not. There is a solution to any obstacle that you're facing in your business right now. And it's your job to figure that out. Nobody can figure that out for you. Your upline can't figure that out for you. The round table can't figure it out for you. Your corporate mentor can't figure it out for you. You have to figure it out. You have to dig deeper, and you have to be, okay, if coaching and recruiting is hard for me, what am I going to do differently? If social media and network growth is hard for me, what am I going to do differently? What are you going to change that's going to create growth from the obstacle? Because every hard thing that I've been through in this business has changed me for the better. And I have been able to lead my team better, so that every new coach I sign up after that really hard thing and that really hard season, maybe it was a pruning season, I'm like, everybody's quitting, I don't know what's in the water. You know what? We've all been there. This fourth quarter is notorious for being the hardest quarter of the year. So if you don't feel like it's hard, that's awesome. Enjoy that momentum and keep going. But if you feel like it's hard, know that it's normal. It's normally a little bit challenging this time of year, but that doesn't have to define your success this quarter. You get to choose what your success is. It might just take more work. Instead of 10 coach invites and one of them signing up, you have to send 15 to get that one, or you have to send 20 to get that one. It might just look differently, but it's not impossible. Because some of the greatest momentum in a year comes from this quarter. And the best teams are built during this quarter. So my encouragement to you guys is to look at the obstacle and say, but how am I going to get through this? What is the solution here? And how can I learn from this? What is it going to teach me so that I'm a different coach? Because I want my next coaches to see quicker success, to see a simpler onboarding process, to see an easier way to share their story, because I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm changing through every obstacle I face that's impacting me and creating a future and a legacy for our team that's going to be smoother sailing, because I'm like riding those tides in the front, making it easier for them. Right? Like that's the goal, is I walk away with something tangible that says our team is better because we've been through this. So I want you guys to go back through what you put in the chat box. And I want you to really think about it. What do you want more than anything in this business? And what are you willing to sacrifice for it? And what are you willing to show up and to do for your team? Because if you can't get through your obstacles, your team that's following you won't be able to get through theirs. And you have to show them the way. So if I want a team who's going to rally after falling out of qualifications or missing a rank goal, then I need to know how to do that myself. I have to go first. And by rallying and showing my team how to do that and doing that in that second quarter, I can now tell a coach who's like, I just dropped out a 1-star, I just dropped out a 2-star, this coach just quit. I can say it's going to be okay, and you can figure it out because I've done that before. I've walked this path before. Okay, so that's what I have for you guys tonight. I know that there is a little bit of like questions on recruiting and that kind of thing. I just want to encourage you guys, like really think through in this season as we go, just like tangible tips as we go through the rest of this year. Number one, your journey always starts with your personal journey. Your business always starts with your personal journey. So that would be a tangible tip. Make sure that you're falling in love with your products and with your programs and with your journey, because if your health and fitness is a hot mess, I promise you your business will reflect that. It always starts with you. Number two, be personal. In an age right now and in a year where social media is just really challenging, be as personal as you can. Make people feel like they matter. Make people feel like they matter, especially right now, because maybe you talk to fewer people, but they're quality conversations and they join your team and they stay on your team. So that would be my encouragement for you guys. I hope that it was helpful. I just want to encourage you guys in that way. Like, look, I've been there. It has been a hot mess. It has not been a straight linear line to superstar or even where I'm at in my business today. But at the end of the day, everything that I've been through, I would go through 5 times more because I know where I'm at today, and I would never, ever sacrifice what coaching has given me, because the obstacles are part of that, and that growth is part of it. And I love who I've become because I've been through really hard things, and I can empathize with people because I've been through really hard things. And so I just want to challenge you guys, lean in, see your obstacles as a gift. See your obstacles as a gift and choose to just show up as hard as you can and trust the process and be the light for other people that are coming after you, because the obstacle is not the end of the journey. It's just a little speed bump along the way, and it will teach you so much that you will bring to your coaches and bring to your teams moving forward. So also, I hope that you guys feel like whatever you're going through, that you can just relate and that someone else has been there and has also like gotten where they wanted to go. I'm a full-time coach. I have an amazing income that I love, and I love this job, and you guys can do whatever you set your minds to do. But there's going to be obstacles. That's going to be normal, and you have to just choose to welcome them and find a solution through them. All right, you guys, I hope you have an awesome night. Happy Tuesday, and I will share the recording with the other coaches. Bye, guys.